Hey everyone, how's it going? I'm Lamont Gilchrist. www.L.G.Fitness-Messiah.com is my webpage. Lamont Gilchrist or L.G. Fitness-Messiah on Instagram. Lamont Gilchrist Natty or Professional Bodybuilder on YouTube. Subscribe to my YouTube page. Check it out. Trying to get that build up to a nice subscription model so I can start doing some other things and bring some people on, do some more training, free training. Seminars and stuff like that. Today is Tuesday, and for my new format that I've been following for the last couple of weeks, we're going to talk working out. We're going to actually put some of this stuff, some of this nutrition and stuff together. Before we get into that, it's a quick product that you can get at like a Walmart or something like that. It's a roller with a little massager. These come in very handy. If you do not have one of these available, or if you don't have one of these and you work out extensively, you might want to invest in one of these. It's really easy to actually pinpoint and to get into different muscles. I'm trying to pull out the attachments. Here we go, a couple of different attachments. I really never use this attachment. It's too soft. I use this one to get in and grind. Sometimes I don't even put it inside the actual roller thing. And it actually vibrates too, so it actually has a component to where it actually vibrates for you and give you a little bit of vibration through the body part as you're working it. Definitely use it sometimes on upper arms, but what I really like for it is my abducting muscles, because I can't foam roll and get into these, and I like it to get into my chest, right down the middle here, that fascia. I like to really hit that fascia right here, my chest and down the middle of my stomach and stuff. So just wanted to clue you into some products that I use, some things that I use to kind of stay flexible. Repair is the number one key. Rest and repair is the number one key to exercising or going hard or getting into shape. Without repair, recovery, rest, and all these other things, nutrition, it's very hard to push your body to a hard limit. And so that gave me a little segue into what I wanted to talk about. I wanted to talk about mental capacity of exercising. In my workout 101 video, I go over some principles as far as how to get into a routine, how you step into the bar, how you place your hands on the bar, what to look for when you get it in, how to be safe. Now I want to talk about actually being in the exercise. Depending on what type of exercise that you're doing, you will bring a different mental approach to that exercise. The way that I like to train my athletes, and the way I like to train just regular people too, and I say everyone's my athletes, because movement is an athletic or a survival tool that we all utilize. So other than being focused, there's a couple of different feelings that go along, or that you could go along with exercising. There's a in control, smooth feeling. There's a power, really aggressive, get after it feeling. There's a relax, listen to your breathing, rep, staying into it. There's a tenacity. I'm going to push myself to the end of whatever it is. All those mental things that you bring to your workout, all those different attitudes and postures and mental cues that you bring into when you're doing the exercise is only going to make you more confident and only going to make you better at what it is that you do. I tell my clients And when I start clients off in the weight room, training them, a lot of them that haven't ever been in the weight room, they are really eyesy. Wherever your eyes is going or whatever your eyes is doing, when your eyes are rolling and stuff and things like that, when you're working out or not being focused, or you don't have a blank focus steering, you're not into yourself, you are not into the muscle that you're trying to work. You're not into the workout, you're not into the movement, you're not into the biomechanics, you're not into the breathing. It is very hard for your brain to be doing two separate things at once, even though we multitask and say we do these things. But under those conditions, you are not focused enough, or you're not into the workout. So eye head placement is very key. There's a study, and I always use these studies. It's once again, it's Harvard, because I follow their journals a lot, or then Berkeley, and somebody else did a study. And I knew this to be true, but you can actually increase your tenacity and testosterone, because I tell all my clients to do this, by putting your head up when you're exercising and exposing your neck. That actually has been shown to increase, for a short period of time, women and men testosterone level, which is very key in exercising and aggression and tenacity of getting in to exercise or movement and stuff like that. So remember, up in the victory pose before you're about to go exercising, stretching, getting really big, taking up room, is another thing that is shown to increase testosterone before performance, or in that moment to spike it up to 20%. So those are some keys. Those are how you can get your hormones working for you before you start exercising. And so I'm going to follow my format of today. I'm going to pause the camera, and we're going to demonstrate triceps, and how we can utilize them to affect the bench, and why I don't do certain movements and tricep movements. So I'll pause it and get ready. Hey everyone, I'm back. One movement that I don't like, that I see a lot of guys do, and it's an ego thing, and it tears their shoulders up. They wonder why they bench suffer, or they wonder why they have really bad shoulder joint problems and impingements in the upper traps and stuff like that. It's the actual skull crusher. I don't use the skull crusher movement for two reasons, because it's not a great tricep builder with your hands in coming up like this. It's really not a great tricep builder unless you're going up and back. And what I see people do, come up at a resting spot and it becomes more shoulders. But there is a tendon and a ligament when I'm like this and trying to keep my elbows into my head that runs through my shoulders, that isn't biomechanically going to let my scapula or let my elbows come back and through. What I actually have to do to get my hands to go further back is open up my palms and slip that tendon to actually be able to do Superman. If I come in with my elbows in like this, which is most skull crushers, then I'm going to run into that tendon and I'm going to have shoulder problems. And most people don't want to go wide like this when it like this, because you don't really get that full range of motion like that. So skull crushers, to me, is a risk reward. It doesn't pay big dividends. It's really more of a macho thing. And it's a resting rate. An alternative that I have for this is basically almost like the same thing, except I'm reaching back with dumbbells. And what I actually do is that I pronate my hands as I kick up and back. This allows me to actually keep force on my triceps, because I'm reaching back for it instead of resting, bringing up with my elbow angle where I really don't have force on my triceps. And what that movement looks like, once again, is palms down, reach back at a 45. So what I'm imagining right now is that I'm throwing them up, trying to touch the light that is up above me. That keeps me in the triceps, and the same thing as biceps, hand and hand rotation, supinating, pronating, rotating the hand affects the duration of going into the muscles and the different angles into the muscles. I know people like to do skull crushers. I mean, it's more efficient to do for triceps, it is more efficient to do a low placement, close grip bench than it is to do a skull crusher. Skull crushers will tear your shoulders up. You will have, for sure, impingements. And all in exercising, to my clients and me, it's all about the risk reward. How much reward am I going to get for the risk? If the reward is great, which skull crushers doesn't give you a great reward, then I'll take the risk sometimes. If the reward isn't going to be great, there's no reason to take the risk. Now I'm going to demonstrate another exercise. All right, everyone. We're going to talk about tricep kickdowns, and I see people doing triceps all the time. If this is a great exercise, kind of like dips is a little bit, but even more efficient than dips if you're trying to affect or increase your bench. On the bench press, as you're coming down, you need to be able to squeeze your lats together and get your lats involved in your bench. This exercise right here, performed at the proper angle, allows you to simulate squeezing your lats together and bringing it in for the bench. It is done correctly by establishing, once again, you can go to my exercise 101 to see the body angle, but establishing your jump angle, setting your angles, breaking the weight. And so what I do, I come down, I squeeze my lats, and I act like I'm ripping the rope apart. My elbows do get a little float in it because I allow it, because I simulate a ripping or a climbing motion as a compound motion. I could just isolate it and stay right here, but once again, I like to get my lats into it, so I let my elbows float just a little bit into my shoulders and my lat. And what that helps me is when I'm benching, I'm actually doing the same thing with my tricep. That's why this exercise right here is very good for developing your triceps, but also very good for increasing lat function or lat action in the bench press, which will shoot your bench press up through the roof if you want to improve your bench press. You can also do single pull down. You can also do kickbacks. But this one to me is the best exercise that I like to perform because it's a compound movement somewhat to get my lats involved a little bit, my shoulders a little bit. I'm over top. My chest is involved because it's like I'm jumping over it. My traps are involved a little bit as I come through, so I get a little bit secondary trap work. And I take it all the way out to failure, and I push it because these are muscles of repetition, muscles that have a pretty good aerobic capacity and pretty efficient in what they do. This is my tricep explanation of how I work my triceps and how I envision when I work my triceps. Remember, technique, if you haven't seen my video, go to YouTube and watch my exercising 101 video, and it tells you about form and proper angles and how to get into the proper form. Once you get into those things, then you can really tear into the muscle. Thanks.